I always start with, do you want me to introduce?
Yes, sir. It's a classic.
Welcome, everybody, to your favorite podcast. This is the Specifically Random Podcast, and where we talk about specifically random things. And I am Jonathan Longo.
I'm your daddy. Just kidding, Jade Monares.
Welcome back. Last week, we talked about a variety of different things, from Snow White to drugs to all these random topics.
Those episodes are up now.
They're up now, yes.
Check them out.
The sound is getting better. We need to make a picture. We already talked about it, so we're on the right step here.
We might go back to video soon.
Yeah, I'm going to buy something. I feel like I'm going to be spending some...
Dude, we don't need to buy
I want to
nothing.
start, though. I want to start, so... yeah. Okay, let's get started here. Do you have a topic? You can start with the topic, because I feel like your topics are a lot more in-depth than mine. And a lot more specific to the times. Mine are more broad. So Jair is going to start the topics today. Let's see what you got.
I know. Hold on. Because I had two topics. One was about what was going on right now. And then the other was just more general. But, I mean, well, you see what's going on right now with the whole Palestine, Israel, and we're talking about it right now and shit. And then a lot of people are not, like, engaged, interested. Like, it's not, like, trending topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless you follow some people or, like, some, not even celebrities. Like, you follow up with, like, politics or news.
Yeah.
You'll probably know about it. But I think it should be a bigger topic than it is. But I think it's, we were talking about it right now before the podcast. And then how you said that, why is it wrong? You know, what Israel's doing to Palestine or...
Well, I'm not saying why it's wrong. I'm saying...
Well, in the context that Immortal Technique in one of his interviews...
Yeah, like the logic behind what... Like when people are now defending or, arguing one side or the other. My issue is that that's the problem. Like, your logic kind of bounces around. Not your logic, but I'm kind of talking in general. People's logic seems to bounce around, like, depending on the situation, depending on what's going on, depending on... the political climate and all that good stuff, right? Like, as a person myself, you may already know if you listen to this podcast, I don't know, I'm a very non-religious person. So, like, not that I don't believe in God or that I believe that there's a higher power, but just specifically religions. Like, I'm a very non-religious person that does not necessarily follow one religion or the other. So, what I would say in this situation is that it's just horrible that people are dying on both sides. And I'm not talking about, well, it's hard, right? But I'm not talking about people who are, like, the bad people. Like, okay, if there's, like, extremists and terrorists who are, terrorizing people, then of course, like, that's something different. But, like, the civilians who are dying on both sides, it's, like, it's tragic, Yeah. And that's all I really have to say about that. Like, I don't know. Like, it's such a complex topic that I wouldn't even be able to even, like, start.
Yeah.
Like, where do I start?
Where do you start?
Yeah, where do I end?
Where do you go?
Yeah, and where do we go? Like, when do we start? Like, what time period do we really want to start? Because depending on where you start, I think Trevor Noah talked about this on his show. He's like, depending on the topic or when you start, one person would be the bad person or the other person would be the bad person.
Well, yeah. No
matter where you start that. And I don't really want to get into that. All I got to say is, it's crazy to think that there's people in the world who become extremists and just kill people solely based on religion.
Isn't it crazy when the people being perpetrated against become the perpetrators? Like the Jews?
What do you mean?
Yeah, because they've been pretty much perpetrated against the whole, like...
Right. I know what you mean. For a
historically,
long time.
Yeah.
Like, it was always the Jews' fault.
Yeah, and then they climaxed all the way to the Holocaust. That was like the climax of their perpetration. And now they're being the perpetrators towards Palestine.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people were arguing.
But
like,
you see that just in human... As a human nature, though. Even here in the U.S., like, immigrants, first, like, the first wave of immigrants, like, I think were Irish. And then they were, like, Germans. And then the Irish were racist against the Germans. And then... then the Chinese, and then not you even see it today, like the older generations of Latinos, they're like somewhat not racist, but they discriminate against the illegal immigrants that come today.
Right.
They're like, oh, you shouldn't be here. And they're like, dude, how did you get here?
Yeah,
or how did your parents get here?
It's all time period.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like how the perpetrator, the one being perpetrator becomes a perpetrator.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's too difficult of a topic to
dissect and
to
break it down.
To like really break down. Night. Yeah, you literally would have, like, you would need to have like like an expert on both sides.
Yeah.
Come and talk to you and literally explain it to you from step, like, here's where this started, and then kind of move forward from there. And some people will start it in one place, and other people will start in a different place, and that's kind of the issue, you know. Yeah. I take myself. I know people will be like, oh, well, yeah, it's easy for you because of whatever. But I take myself out of that situation, and I just say it's messed up that innocent people are dying on both sides.
Yeah.
And if it's one person being aggressive and the other, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't stop them from being aggressive. I can just, like, well, whoever's being more aggressive, whatever facts come out, then, yeah, that's messed up. Like, I get it. But
that's the fucked up part, too, that Palestine it's just refugees at this point, you know, like they're like, and Israel's like a full on developed country now, and that's why Immortal Technique posted like a picture, because I think Biden said, oh, you know, they should just solve their differences on their own or whatever, so something along those lines. So that picture said, oh, a gunman walked into a daycare full of children, they should solve their differences between each other. You get what I mean? Like, how do you compare a gunman, a full-grown gunman, walking into a daycare?
Well, that's what they're saying.
Full of children. Well, so it's like a analogy between Palestine being the children.
Yeah, and because they're not as powerful as
Yeah. So I think that's a fucked up part, and also that the fact what I told you yesterday, that the U.S. is like behind this funding of Israel, you know, just to have another ally in the Middle East. Yeah. I mean, the fucking. I sent you the picture of the article.
But the United States has always been
That's what I mean. Like
long as time.
A lot of fucked up shit that's going on around the world. Like, you can one way or another trace it back to the U.S. Like, they're involved one way or another. Like funding, fucking training, you know, undercover missions, shit like that.
But the problem that I have too is that this is like people are, I don't want to use the word dumb, but like ignorant in the sense of like stupid. They'll be like, oh, see what Biden has done, and it's like, dude, this has been going on forever.
Yeah, that's what I've been posting. That's what I've been posting. Biden's America, because if it was during Trump, people would be like, oh, look at Trump's America, like look what they're doing. But
it's like the intent is like, this has been happening for I don't know how long.
Yeah,
like not even Trump, like just keep going back from Obama. You know what I mean? Like. And that's kind of this thing that I'm literally hating at this point, where it's like, dude, people are being fed this stuff that's not necessarily true. Like, it's not true.
Yeah.
You know, like it
is true,
but it's like it's happening now everywhere, dude. We're talking about education. Like, you're now like one side is trying to teach a lie, and now the other side is like, let's also lie.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, how is that a solution?
Yeah.
Like, one side is what a lot of people believe is like teaching like critical race theory, right? Which a lot of people will say that disagree or whatever. And now it's like people in Texas are like, let's not teach about racism. So what? Like you're just gonna erase?
Yeah. Well, that was actually one. I just wanted to bring this up because that's what's going on. You know, the whole Palestine shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my topic. One of them. The whole the Texas bill that I think it got passed or it's about to get passed.
Yeah.
The teachers can no longer teach critical race theory or anything or race inequality.
Yeah.
Anything that teaches that the white man has one step ahead of everybody else.
It also said on the title. Well, I don't know. The title said also racism.
Yeah, and racism too.
But it's like you.
So I was like, all right, so we're not gonna learn about America then.
Well, you know? that's the whole problem that I have though.
Yeah.
Personally, as a teacher,
we spoke about this last week.
Remember? I know. Personally, as a teacher, it bothers me, dude.
Yeah.
It bothers me when people go in there and just like on both sides. This is the thing that I fucking hate, dude. No, like I'm like starting to a point where I just fucking hate people. Damn, like it just bothers me, dude. Because it's like, where do we just like end? Like, where are we gonna end now? Like we're gonna end at the point where it's like we're not gonna teach people racism when it legitimately happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, I understand that.
So what are we gonna call it? Are we just gonna like jump over it?
Yeah, we're just gonna jump over.
And it's like, oh well, why did a civil war happen?
But I also
just forget about
but
that.
I also but I also dislike the fact that like when there's a lot of people who believe like you should only teach Thomas Jefferson solely like as a racist.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, dude. Because it's like he also did a lot of other things. Yeah. Sure, he was a racist. And you have to point out that, yes, he was a racist. I'm not saying to lie to the kids. What I'm saying is, yes, he was racist, but he also did all these other things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like George Washington had slaves, but he also did a lot of these things that you're living in the U.S., you're coming to the U.S.
And like you said, it's on both sides because, like, okay, I guess the woke liberal left, they point that out, you know, things like that. Like, oh, he was a racist. But then you also got people on the right saying, they point out Che Guevara as, oh, he was a communist, anarchist, and all this, but hardly anybody knows that he was a doctor, like a legit doctor. Like he had his medical degree. Yeah. And he traveled throughout all South America, Latin America, on a fucking motorcycle, just curing people, helping people. You know, and then after that, that's when he seen everything that was going on at that time.
And he thought a solution was what he thought.
No. Like, well, he saw that and he's like, what the fuck is happening? And he's like, oh, well, America's behind all this. That's where his anger towards capitalism in America,
right? You
know, grew. Not just he just didn't fucking wake up and be like, oh, I hate America. You know, like I'm gonna be a communist. No, like that should happen. Like there's a whole like story why that should happen. But people won't say that story. They would just say he's a communist, anarchist. He overthrew Cuba. He fucked up Cuba, and that's it.
The funny thing that I find like just the stupidity of the logic of people is where I'm just like, what, dude? So like for the longest time they're like, schools aren't teaching them anything. Schools aren't teaching them anything. Schools in the United States are failing. Schools in the United States are not teaching them what they need to be taught. You know, the kids are not learning all this stuff, right? But then like now it's like, well, schools are teaching them racism. Hold on, just a second ago you said school wasn't teaching them anything. Yeah. That the kids weren't learning anything at all. Yeah. Like the school has failed them. And now it's like, well, the schools are teaching them racism. Hold on, are they teaching them anything or are they not? Like you can't just pick and choose, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, is it the teacher's fault or is it not? Yeah. Like, you know, like, oh, so you think, like, dude, I've never in my, however many years I went to college, this is the by far the stupidest argument that I have. Where like they tell you that college makes you a liberal. It's like I've never, ever in my life went to a college class and I heard a teacher say they hate the United States.
Me neither.
Like never, dude. They would be like, well, this is what the history books. This is what happened. Yeah. And you can make your own judgment and be like, damn, that's messed up. The U.S. made a lot of messed up choices. Yeah. And sure, you can make that judgment. Feel free. But you can also look at it in different ways. And that's my biggest thing is like, hold on, are teachers really teaching them nothing or are they teaching them something? Now it's the teacher's fault? Just a second ago, they were heroes. Yeah. Like, where are we going to stop? Like this stupidity of we're going to go back and forth. Anything, we're just going to say anything that just we think is going to be true in that time. Yeah. And it's just the opposite. Like, everything is about race. It's not, dude. Yeah. Like, why are we going to teach kids that, dude? Like, it's not, everything is not, like, it's not, dude.
Right. And what do you think of the dangers are of doing that shit?
What I think the dangers are? Yeah. The delusional idea that everything is perfect.
That the United States was...
Well, just in general. Like, where are you going to stop? Like, why are we going to teach anything bad?
Yeah, exactly. That it becomes a slippery slope, I think.
Yeah, like, well, we shouldn't teach them about the wars because that's kind of messed up. Yeah, because
then maybe they're gonna want to go to war.
Yeah, or like we can be like,
we shouldn't teach them anything. You can teach. We should teach that not even religion existed. You know, you never know.
Yeah, or just be like, I know this is like a drastic example, but like, why teach about Hitler? Yeah, because like
that can lead to that.
What if like somebody in the class goes, wow, somebody can do that? Maybe I can do that one day. Yeah. Like we can do this all day, dude. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's the stupidity. Yeah. Like where it's like you guys are not using common sense. Yeah. Like just teach them facts, and whatever is a result is a result.
Yeah. People can think of. People can develop their own ideas, their own.
But that's what is freedom, dude. Yeah. That's why, like, you want freedom.
But we're becoming China 2.0. That's probably what China. That's probably what China does. I'm pretty sure.
And that's the shit that it's like people are just falling for it on both sides, dude. Yeah. They're just like.
But you know what? Now that I think about it, that's probably what they want. You know, because China. I mean, China's our history is only like fucking 300, almost 300 years old, almost. You know,
our history.
Yeah, almost 300 years old. The U.S. fucking history compared to China's, we're fucking babies.
Right.
So China's history is just rich, like overall. Yeah. So they have a rich history. Exactly. So they can be proud of that history. So I think the U.S. is probably trying to reach something similar, but it's like, dude, you're barely like taking a baby step, like, and I mean that's probably what their approach is, you know, because I mean from what I know, Chinese people love their country and love everything about their country, but except the government.
By not teaching kids racism, you think like racism is not going to exist? I just don't understand it.
I think that the whole idea behind this bullshit bill is that they want to teach kids to love their country by making the country seem like it was never and never done any wrong.
That's censoring the facts.
Exactly. You're censoring the facts. But I mean, I guess the facts only matter when
that's against your First Amendment's beliefs.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Freedom of speech. Yeah. If I go into my classroom and I say, "Hey, racism exists,"
but isn't it fucking like, dude? Isn't it like crazy how like we're sitting here talking about this and like, you know, like those are all good points. You know what I mean? Why are those points not being brought up between when they debate each other?
What do you mean the points? Like what points?
Like what you said. Like that's censoring the facts. It goes against the First Amendment.
Because people just randomly talk, dude.
No, but it's like, dude, how
because
come,
because people are there's so many. Because in reality,
we're here eating Jack in the Box and making these points, and then you know, fucking
like random people can't.
Yeah, like or we don't have PhDs and shit like that, you know.
I just think because there's a massive amount of people who are. I don't want to use the word manipulated, but they're easily manipulated into the facts. Like where you can, and I always say this same shit. Like, dude, just turn on Tucker Carlson, dude. Just turn it on, dude. One day, turn on Fox News and just listen to it. And people are like, "Wow, that was such a good point." And it's like, dude, he'll say shit like I don't know. This teacher was like speaking out. Right? And they'll pinpoint like some small detail that they did, some small quote that they made, and Tucker Carlson will be like, that teacher needs an award, right? But then if you listen to the whole speech, he's like talking about other things that maybe Tucker Carlson doesn't agree with, but they'll use that 10-second clip,
no context,
and it'd be like, that teacher needs an award. So then when people listen, they'll be like, wow, this is what really matters, and then you get manipulated. It's the same thing that they do on the other side. Where they're like, everything is about race. Everything's like CNN's like everything's right. Like who, you know, it's about race. Which, sure, like there's a lot of course. I'm not saying there's no racism. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But like if we do the if your action is the opposite action, in the sense of like, well, they did it to us, let's do it to them. It's not gonna solve anything. It's not. Yeah. Like it isn't. Like it's just that's just not how it works. Yeah. You know. Like literally, it's like somebody broke your window and you go in over there and break somebody's window. That's not gonna it's really not gonna fix anything. Yeah, you now have two broken windows.
It pretty good earlier when I brought it up, and you're like, that's cancel culture. You know, it technically is cancel culture. Yeah. You know, you're canceling out the facts. Yeah, I mean,
cancel culture is only cancel culture to the side when it affects them.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's only dangerous when it affects certain sides.
Yeah. Oh, they're canceling this, and then later on, be like, boycott MLB. It's like that's literally you trying to cancel them. Yeah. Like, but like, how do you not fall for? Like, how do you look at that and go, that's not cancel culture? Like, what, dude? Yeah. And that's why I hate fucking people, dude. I do it, dude. As I get older, dude, I can't.
Damn, dude.
Like, don't talk to me.
You need a therapist.
I do, dude. Don't talk to me unless you're gonna be open-minded to whatever it is, and I expect that
you gotta
from me.
See, that's one thing, you gotta be open-minded and try to see things from different perspectives. And you can't just be married to your opinion.
I expect that from me, dude.
Yeah.
So if ever I'm not open-minded, you need to be like, hey, dude, you're not being open-minded right now. Legitimately, dude, because then a lot of times, like every person, I act off of emotion. So I'm fucking mad and I'll just be like, that was the wrong thing to say. Don't be fucking saying that.
Yeah.
And then I'll sit down in my sofa, dude, at night and I'll just sit in the dark and be like, let me just try to figure this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, relax.
You give too many fucks, Tina.
You know, that's the shit. I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You got to read that book I told you.
I'm going to read it. That's going to be the first book
we only got a certain amount of fucks, and you got to choose what to give a fuck about.
This is my issue, though, dude, is that as I get older, I've been noticing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not, okay, again, I'm not that old.
I know, dude, relax.
I'm not that old, but I'm just saying, like, I've been noticing that, like, a lot of people they listen to react, not to understand.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but
just say the names.
Let me just say, like, if somebody says, I don't know, I would rather be at a school where it was all one race and the race looked like me, right? Wouldn't you be like, damn, that's a fucked up thing to say?
Yeah.
You're like, like, I would feel more comfortable if my neighborhood was all the same race as me.
Yeah.
Let's just say Hispanics or black.
Yeah.
Like, if I was black and I would be like, well, I would feel more comfortable if I only taught black kids, or I was in a school with all black kids, or if I only taught in a school with all Hispanic kids. Right? Yeah. And it's like, your first reaction would be like, dude, that's a fucked up thing to say, dude.
Yep.
You know? And that's literally, at some point, you know, it does. Some people do believe that. But you go home and you think about it, like, why the fuck would somebody say that, dude? You know, and that's what I feel like. You need to stop, listen to understand. And then if you calm down and the next thing you're like, you still think the same way, then feel free, because you already went through the emotions. The problem is that everybody just listens to react. You know? Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. It happens all the time now, dude. And that shit is bothering me.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
dude.
I know. I get you. I understand.
Hold on. You're telling me that you think that it's only this side doing anything bad?
Yeah.
Like, really, dude? Like, you legitimately think that? Like, people who are like, Israel is doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, like, yeah, sure. But think about it, dude. Like, in any war, people are just doing shit just on both sides. Like, you can't come over here and, I don't know, dude. Like, it's just it bothers me.
Yeah, but I think
I'm with, you know, Andrew Yang, dude. Big, I liked him.
Oh, they called him out on something he said about Palestine.
Dude, I liked him. I still like him. I still think that...
I'm not sure what he said, and then Ocasio jumped on him.
Yeah, he basically said, we're with the people of Israel.
Yeah.
Right? Never mentioned anything. Dude, I get it. I understand, whatever. But Palestinian people are fucking dying, dude. You know what I mean? And yes, some of them are bad and some are intense, but, you know, civilians are dying in just caught in a bombing, you know? And you have to be like, we're with the people of Israel. Feel free to be like backing them. But it's like, we also don't want random people to die.
Yeah.
You know? Dude, that's why I know you don't like, and I don't like religious people. And I'm not.
I like religious people. I just don't.
No, I don't like the religion.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not ever like, oh, you should. But there's one, you know, I've been through a lot of popes in this situation or whatever. And not just because he's Argentinian, dude, but this pope, bro, watch his like, there's a documentary on Discovery Plus. Watch it and tell me that fool's Catholic. You would never believe it, dude.
I know. Well,
never.
He's the only, like, non-Catholic pope.
That's what and they bash him, dude.
Yeah.
They bash him because he went in and he went to like Syria and literally just stood in all like the bombed areas, dude, where the houses were like flat. And he goes, these people need help.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that fool's not Catholic. He just helped Muslim people. Bro, he's just being a human, dude.
Yeah.
That's the shit that we need, dude. Like, that's the type of people we need, dude.
Yeah.
Like, where you put aside your religion and maybe you do believe.
Yeah. That's why Rogan always says we need aliens to come to Earth. Yeah. I mean, Andrew Schultz says that shit too. That's the only time we're all gonna unite, you know, China, Russia, Americans, everybody.
Dude, I just like, if I can meet anybody, and this is gonna be a question that I have later, but the Pope, dude, I would just like to shake his hand.
Fuck.
Dude, I just like be like, dude, thanks, because you know you were like, oh yeah, the Catholic. Well, you made a joke about the Catholic Church about defending priests that touch kids or whatever, right? And he did in the beginning, dude.
He touched kids?
No. He protected, like he did. He was like, no, I don't believe it, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually, like through times, he kept hearing this. He showed up. I think it was happening in Chile or something like that.
Yeah.
And he showed up, dude, and he was like, dude, there's nobody out here. Like nobody came to see him. It was like empty basically because people were protesting him. So he went back and he said, dude, people are feeling this intense where they don't even show up to come visit me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he said he sent somebody to go investigate. And he was like, I guess they were right. Dude, let's go investigate. Send somebody to investigate. Found out he was right. Fucking called them out.
Damn.
They were like, yep, this fool was doing this shit. And just
gangster,
bam. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
That's the shit. Like, that's the fucking type of people we need.
Yeah.
Not be like, I'm Catholic. I'm going to go to Syria and only look for the Catholic people, dude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the shit that I'm talking about, dude. Or, like, it can be anything. Like, I'm a Republican, but I'm only going to talk about the Republican states. Yeah. Like, nah, dude. Everybody's hurting. Let's work together.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the shit that I was like, I was watching this documentary and going, damn, I really wish he wasn't Argentinian. Because people would be like, oh, you're just saying that shit because he's Argentinian and you're Argentinian. Honestly, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish he wasn't because...
But you're American.
Yeah, I'm American. I'm American. And I'm not a Catholic either.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I was raised kind of Catholic. I just never went to church.
Fuck.
But, you know, that's the shit that... Like, that's the shit that we need.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to my question. I apologize for that. But
for the
I
rant.
have a question. Dude, it's just I hate people, dude.
Yeah. But back to the original
Go ahead.
the original topic. Yeah, I think that's really dangerous what they're trying to do. And like I said last time, you should just learn your history.
Yeah.
In depth.
How do you do that without having people who... There's a lot of people that
Just
don't know how to read, dude.
Fucking listen to the
I
books.
have a lot of topics about
Audible.
this, man. I have a lot of topics.
Audible.
Cool, man. Read your history on Palestine and Israel. Read your history on the United States. Read your history on both sides, though. Read everything, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Whatever's going on, just read about it. Yeah. Read about the history of it. Whatever's going on, any character you're interested, read about it. And then...
Or watch a documentary.
Yeah,
see who made your documentary.
You can start there.
Yeah.
You know? There's a cool documentary about Che Guevara on fucking Netflix.
Oh, really?
Badass, dude. Is
it a docu? Is it like it's like a movie with Del Toro? Is that
Nah, it's a documentary.
Yeah.
I forgot the it's in Spanish. Fuck.
Such a polarizing person.
It's Taibo, the historian. It's pretty dope. The documentary is pretty accurate.
Such a polarizing person, man.
Yeah.
You know who does a lot of these good things, dude, about both sides? The fucking there's a TED Talk. There's like they make cartoons. I think it's actually TED Talk, and it's or I don't know what it is, but it's basically like, for example, they'll do like Genghis Khan, or they pronounce it Genghis Khan.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Genghis Khan versus Genghis Khan against history, and then they'll do like both sides. Like, well, somebody argues that he was horrible, and somebody argues that, well, in reality, he wasn't really horrible.
Yeah.
You know? And they do it for a bunch of them. I think there's one about Che. Such a polarizing person after he died, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I wore his shit all the time, dude, without knowing. Just because he was Argentinian.
I never wore his shit, but I was always, interested. Because, I mean, I would see him everywhere, you know, like, in shirts, hats, everywhere. Like, he was, like, an icon.
Yeah.
And then, once I started, like, I think that was, like my last project in college. Like, to write a essay about him. And then... Yeah, that's when I really read through like a couple books about him, articles and shit.
I'm glad I wore them though, because as I got older,
because now I mean I don't wear them or anything. I have a sticker in them of him, but that's about it. And then people, I mean, only like they asked me like once, you know, like, oh, do you know what the sticker means? You know, it means communism. And it's like, well, how about it doesn't mean fucking communism, you dumbass? Yeah, you know.
Well, first of all, he was a socialist, wasn't he?
Yeah, but you know, people associate him with communism.
I'm glad. Well, yeah, because everything is that's not capitalism, it's communism.
So when you start breaking it down to them, you know, and then he's like, "Oh, but do you know he was a racist?" He's like, "Yeah, so was Thomas Jefferson. So what's your point, dude?"
Yeah, like we can pinpoint everything.
Yeah. At least he didn't own slaves. It's like, like, you want to go there? At least he didn't own slaves. Go, So, yeah, dude. But yeah, that was it for that topic.
Yeah.